Well, the change of guard triggered mixed reactions from American voters. Listen in to what people across the country had to say about Biden stepping down and Kamala Harris filling his shoes.
I would pick Kamala Harris, definitely. Just because it's something different. The country, we still have not had a woman president yet. So what better opportunity now for that change to happen in this day and age? And plus, representing, African American, being a woman, I'm all for it.
If it was in between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, I would vote for Trump.
I think it's scary as someone who does not want Trump to be the president. Just like throwing that uncertainty into the mix makes me feel a little nervous. So yeah, I'm interested to see where the Democratic Party goes next.
I'm nervous. I hear so much animosity toward her, around the workplace, which is more conservative. But I mean, they weren't going to vote Biden anyway, so it's going to be interesting. I'm voting for whoever isn't Trump, and I wish I was more excited, but I'm still nervous.
I do think that there's bias out there. There's no doubt. There's racism, there's sexism. But right now, we did it before with Barack Obama. No one thought that someone with his name and a black man could get elected president, and look what he did. And we're at a place in our country where people want something new and fresh. They want someone who can do the job. Kamala's both tough, but also she is a woman, and she's been out there on abortion rights, making sure that we can keep our rights as women to be able to make choices with our own body. And we just are going to have, I think that there's so many young people that are totally great with having a woman president.
Well, let's talk about this point in time in history of the United States. Peter Kuznick is a professor of history at American University, is now joining us live from Washington, D.C. Professor Kuznick, welcome to the show. Mixed reactions following what Joe Biden did, and we've seen some Americans welcoming Joe Biden's decision, but some are nervous for Kamala Harris to be president for the United States. Why the worry?
Harris is not a very well-known entity, despite the fact that she's been vice president for almost 4 years and been on the national scene for years before that. People don't really know her views on a lot of subjects. They know she's very strong on abortion and on women's rights, and that will resonate with American voters. They also know that she's a prosecutor, and the contrast between Harris as a prosecutor, a district attorney, a state attorney general, and Donald Trump as a convicted felon on 34 counts with other cases still pending is going to be a stark contrast. And so, but people were eager to have Biden step aside. Almost 80%, maybe more than 80% of the American people thought he was not mentally capable of being president again. But they also didn't want to see Donald Trump run again. And so the fact that Trump was running against a weakened, almost pathetic, sickly candidate like Biden, and still was only ahead by a very slim margin, should give the Democrats great encouragement that with somebody else at the head of the ticket, and whether it's Kamala Harris or Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom or any of the other viable candidates, the Democrats should be in a very, very strong position. And we see the Republicans scrambling and worrying and complaining and whining again.
Professor Kuznick, before we move on, you made a point there where Kamala Harris is now coming in as a prosecutor, and then she's facing or she's running against a felon. And it is being reported that she will use that tagline in her campaigns. Will it work against her or for her?
It will work for her, especially with the independents. Now, they were very hesitant to vote for Biden. And young people, my students in that generation, did not like Biden. And they, among the things they were most strongly concerned about was the U.S. blanket support for Israel and providing weapons for the slaughter in Gaza. If Harris is smart, she will break with that policy. She'll be much stronger in supporting ceasefire in Israel, and hopefully she will also support diplomacy when it comes to Ukraine. So I think that Biden's foreign policy was a real liability, and Trump had already been describing Biden as a warmonger. But on other things, she's younger, she's more vigorous, she'll be a good debater, and Trump has already said he doesn't want to debate her in September. Why? Because he knows that she will kick his fat butt in a debate.
Professor Kuznick, before we move on, because I want you to stay with me, because we're going to talk about Trump's, or we'll flip the coin and talk about Trump. But before that, I just want to know, forget Kamala Harris being black. Is America ready for a female president? Yes or no?
We thought that America was ready in 2016. The problem in 2016 was that Hillary Clinton was a deeply unpopular candidate and somebody who the American people did not like or resonate with. Kamala Harris has got to present herself. Right now, the Republicans are going to try to define her. And they're going to talk about her being the puppet master who enabled Biden, even when they knew he was incompetent. They're going to talk about her as being the border czar, the one who is responsible for the influx of immigrants. So she's going to have to get out there and define herself before the Republicans are able to define her. And they're pretty desperate. They've been talking about things like the fact that she was against plastic straws. If that's their biggest issue, then the Democrats will be in good shape. But she's got to be strong. She's got to show that she can stand up against Trump. She's got to show that she doesn't punch for the tip of the nose. She punches for the back of the head. And she's got that track record. And I think she'll have good advisors. The money is already pouring in that the donors did not want to give to Trump. And, so it seems that the Democratic Party has rallied behind her. Do I think that she's the Democrats' strongest candidate? No. But I think that under the circumstances, she's going to be a strong enough candidate and capable of leading this country and of being a unifier. So.
Professor, stay with me, because I want you to make your last point. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.